what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some...
Not your skill at bargaining.
No deal.
Jesus Christ, what happened to you?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of Horror Tuesday. I'm your host, Nadia, and thank you for joining me today. Just so everybody knows, every Tuesday I drop an episode about horror news, what's happening in the genre. So go ahead and please hit that like button, subscribe for all future episodes, and let's get into it. So one thing I want to bring up first before we get into news was I did go see In a Violent Nature over the past weekend. It was pretty good. I have a full review of it, which I'll put the link for it in the description below. But overall, more time to think on it. I still stand by the fact that I think fans of the slasher genre will enjoy it. It's definitely worth a watch. But I don't think it's a repeat for me. I had a discussion with one of my friends discussing that it is basically the breakdown of the slasher genre, which I didn't think of at the time recording my review. Again, still stand by everything in that review. It is really cool in the effects, but I would say go see it. If you're a horror fan, if you like that slasher genre, you've got nothing going on a Tuesday night, while it's still in theaters, highly recommend going to go see it. But again, it's definitely not a repeat for me. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, what your thoughts on it are. Now, getting into the first topic I want to discuss, I labeled this banner Mike vs. Netflix because, again, we all know I'm a fan of Mike Flanagan, and he is pretty much saying Netflix has been actively hostile towards the idea of releasing any physical media, doing the Hill House, Midnight Club, Midnight Mass, which is my favorite out of all of them. Fall of the House of Usher too, which sucks because I think there's... we're going to put my little conspiracy tin hat on. I don't know if there's a war going on right now against physical media, but it sure feels like it. I am a big proponent of physical media. If you can own it in a DVD, Blu-ray, VHS maybe, whatever your pick might be, highly recommend that over digital, because digital, they can go in and change it. If you lose your account, you lose those purchases. I don't know. It just, physical media, just like books to me, it's always better to have it in your hand. And this sucks because I really would love a copy of Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass for sure as well. Sometimes when I stream in my background, I have my Midnight Mass art book behind me. That was a gift. I'm really a big fan of his stuff, and I would love to own it as physical media, but it sucks that Netflix is apparently being actively hostile towards the idea of it. I feel like I understand they make their money right now with subscribers, but at some point, I feel like your subscriber count's going to reach a peak that you can't go past. You're going to hit a wall. And this would just be another way to make money by selling these, especially if they're big hits like Haunting of Hill House. I have not met one person that has not liked that show. There has been criticism of it a little bit, but everybody seems to be like, yeah, it's a pretty good horror, TV show. So I don't know why there's this war on it, but it also brings up in the fact, let me see if I can find it. There was another tweet I saw today. Or no, this is from Bloody Disgusting. Hush, which is another Michael Flanagan movie, which I highly recommend. It's actually another home invasion movie that I like. I just did a video breakdown of The Strangers. Go ahead and check that out on the channel. But Hush is the other movie I enjoy. And it looks like he teases that streaming and physical release for his home invasion movie, which is great. It's been 8 years since Netflix released Mike Flanagan's home invasion horror movie Hush, but it's interesting to note the film no longer is streaming on Netflix. In fact, it's currently unavailable to stream or rent or purchase anywhere, which is sad. And we've never gotten a physical media release. In other words, you cannot watch Hush at all. So again, this is, I feel like, a reason why physical media is king, because if something removes from streaming services, how are you able to watch it if you own it? I can say there will be a physical release, and there will be a lot of awesome surprises that we've been working on for a year that makes the release awesome. It's something that's really exciting. I will definitely be buying a copy of this. We took back because I value physical media, and Netflix by policy does not work in their business plan. That's such a shame. If you've never seen Hush, again, it's great. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who has seen it. It's stylized really good. It's obviously earlier Flanagan work. You could see the foundation being built for his TV series, like the little visual flares they have added into it. Highly recommend it. It's probably my second favorite home invasion movie next to The Strangers. But it sucks that the other stuff is in, but I'm glad to see Hush getting a physical release. And again, I will definitely be buying a copy of that. What did you guys think of Hush? Have you seen it? Do you enjoy it? Are you going to check it out now that I've recommended? Or are you going to be like, nope, Nadia, we don't care? All right, moving on. One thing I wanted to bring up in the war of, hold on one second. I think I might have told you we do these things live and unedited. Always. Do you know how movie posters aren't that great anymore? They don't really take the time to actually do a good poster. It's always the generic, like, big heads, little heads on it. And there was a poster I saw that I wanted to bring up, and of course I can't find it now. I don't know why. It is just everywhere. Hold on one moment, folks. Like I said, we do this live. Is this going to let me see this? Here it is. Okay. So I am a big fan of classical posters. Again, I think movie posters nowadays aren't that great. It's the same generic kind of style. However, new poster for Quiet Place Day 1. I don't know if I'm excited to see this movie, to be honest. The first one was great. I thought it was definitely a refreshing, I guess, sci-fi film, sci-fi horror. I will say Dolby Cinema. Like, if you compare Dolby's posters to just the generic posters they have nowadays, they're always much better. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I like this poster. This is really well done. It's different, again, than the 5 or 6 big heads and then the smaller heads of everybody. Like, this to me, it doesn't have any of the actors' faces on it, which I like. Kind of gives a mystery to it. I don't know if I'm going to see this. I like the first one. Second one was all right. Since you already kind of know where the story's going, I don't know how a prequel will do. I'm curious. I will definitely, you know what? I will check it out. I'm lying to myself. I'll check it out. I'll probably have to go back and watch the first and second one beforehand. But it is coming out this month, June 28th. What do you guys think? Do you think Dolby Cinema does better posters than the standard? There was a thread, and I wish I could find it. I tried to look for it. I might be able to find it before the next Horror Tuesday episode, comparing just standard posters to the Dolby posters. And Dolby always is way better than normal, like way better. And I think it's because they don't make it focused on just the actors' heads, floating heads, and they actually take the time to, in a sense, tell a story in the poster. Like, I wouldn't, the big D's aside, I wouldn't mind hanging this up if I was a teenager collecting posters again, or an adult collecting, whatever. I wouldn't mind this as a poster for the movie. Again, minus the big D's. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like the Dolby posters? Do you know what I'm talking about? Or am I crazy? I don't know. All right, moving on. Our next topic. Bill is back, baby. And by this, Bill Skarsgård is back as Pennywise, which I kind of saw happening. I can't really see them recasting Pennywise, so here we go. Just when you thought your nightmares were over, Bill Skarsgård has been cast in the Max's original series Welcome to Derry, working title, reprising his role as Pennywise from It and It Chapter 2. Obviously, who else would they cast as Pennywise? Who would be the next third person they would cast? Give this man as much money as he wants if he wants to come back as Pennywise. Now, when It and It Chapter 2, I really enjoy them. I'm a fan of the classic miniseries 2 with Tim Curry. I really liked it. It Chapter 2 had some faults, but it was okay. But him as Pennywise was very creepy, and it brought me back into the fear of Pennywise when I was younger, because I saw the miniseries way too young, because I had a jerk of a cousin who played it for me and my sisters, and I think we were all maybe around like 7, 6, and 5, maybe around that age, and it, yeah, it terrified us so bad that my sisters and I refused to shower without like having my mom in the room and stuff, and like constantly would be looking down at the drain and constantly be looking in it and stuff. Like that's how bad the first one. Now watching it as adult, it's not as terrifying, but think of it as a child, and then it's a clown. And I really didn't think they could bring back Pennywise as scary as that, from what I remember as a kid. But I thought Skarsgård did a great job in It Chapter 2. So yeah, give him all the money for this. And I'm very excited for this series because I would like to see what they're going to do with it. Obviously, if you've ever read it, there's a little bit of lore throughout the books of the history of Derry, throughout the book, not books, book, history of Derry. So there's not an actual book this is based off of. So it'll be very interesting to see what they pull together. What are your thoughts, folks? Again, comment below. Let me know. What are you excited for this? You're not a Stephen King fan. I'm a pretty big King fan. I read pretty much all of his books, even though he can't end a book very well. If you know, you know. So, all right, moving on. I also have Brandy is back. Does anybody know what that means? No. Why am I talking to myself? I don't know. Here we go. So, yeah, 90s Babies knows what I'm talking about. Brandy Norwood, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Ooh, when have you heard about that movie in a while? Will return to horror in this upcoming A24 movie, The Front Room. The film has been given a release date, which is going to be September 6th of 2024, so this year, which is pretty cool. It's also done by the brothers of Robert Eggers, Max and Sam. Is it Eggers or Eggers? What? Like, oh, okay, never mind. It's adapted from a screenplay from a Susan Hill short story of the same name. The film follows a young, newly pregnant couple forced to take in an ailing stepmother who has been estranged from the family. Cool concept. I bet this is going to be pretty good. I hope so. I'm glad to see she's back. It's been a while. Us millennials, what's up? This is going to be great. A24, I always feel A24, Neon, and what can I think of the other one? Blumhouse? I always enjoy their horror films, so I would be interested to see how this works out. I'll definitely be seated for this. Hopefully it'll get a theater release. I'm hoping. So, and then another movie that's coming out is Heretic, which sounds very much up my jam. Let's see if I can share that. Here it is. Yes. All right. Heretic. Sophia Thatcher starring in A24's horror Heretic sets November release date. Ooh, this is really excited for this. Scott Beck and Brian Woods, writers of A Quiet Place, will direct last year's sci-fi thriller 65, which I haven't seen. A team is teaming up with A24 for Heretic, which has Hugh Grant, which the concept, which by the way, it was really funny, most recently seen in Dungeons and Dragons Among Thieves and Wonka, which Dungeons and Dragons Among Thieves is one of my favorite movies, but I digress. Where is it? Where's the? Oh, here it is. So, the movie, which sounds really eerie. Just two missionaries become ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse after they knock on the wrong door. Ooh, that's creepy. Who like? I'm totally game for this just by the summary itself. And A24. But what do you guys think? I think this would be really cool. The pair also co-wrote the Boogeyman movie, Stephen King's adaptation, which was pretty good too. It is pretty terrifying, but I'm excited. I mean, who else? Who wouldn't want to scare some missionaries? Who wouldn't want to scare some missionaries that come to your door, right? This could be a lot of fun. I think this will be a fun film. I think it will. I'll definitely be seated for this one. What do you guys think? Are you interested? Have you heard of this? Anybody have heard of this? I know this is not a big juggernaut for horror this year, but has anybody heard of it? Let me know in the comments below. All right, just a break before my last two articles. I saw something really, really cool on Twitter, and I had to share it with everybody. Where is it? Yeah. Isn't this cool? It's the Scream mask, but it's made of all phones. I thought that was really genius. I thought that was really, really cool. Scream. And then, I didn't even notice, after seeing this just briefly, I didn't even notice right here. That's really cool. On the bloody knife, Drew Barrymore's character sitting right there. That's dope. I didn't even notice. I would have this in my house. Looks pretty. Wow, that's collecting a lot. That took some time. That's really cool. What do you guys think? I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. One of the last movies I want to talk about that I don't think anybody has talked about is and I'm gonna butcher this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna butcher this really bad. Vourdalak. I don't know. Anyway. Anybody heard of this? Because this is a vampire movie that adapts the Gothic novelle that predates Dracula, which caught my attention, which is really cool. I am very excited for this, and I've not heard of it, and it's supposed to be coming out this month, at the end of the month. I'm hoping it'll hit theaters by me to be able to see this. I love vampire films. Always a good time. Yep, even the sparkle ones. Not so much. The poster's really cool. It's different. I don't know why I haven't heard of it. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I am just caught by the article for it. So it's, and I'm going to butcher these names, and I apologize. We all know this. I don't speak English very well. The Marquise de Ufri, I guess, a notable, what is this? The King of France is attacked and abandoned in a remote countryside. He finds refuge in an eerie, isolated manor. The resident family, reluctant to take him in, exhibits strange behavior as they await the imminent return of their father, Gorcha. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce that word. Gorcha. This looks dope. I want to play the trailer of my last episode. God, fuck it. Let's do this. Let's see. Oh, right off the bat, this is my cup of tea.
Ouvrez-moi, pour l'amour du ciel. J'ai été attaqué par des brigands.
Nous n'ouvrons cette porte à personne. Empruntez le sentier vers l'ouest.
You know what this reminds me of a little bit? And maybe because it's French, but it reminds me of, if anybody's ever seen Brotherhood of the Wolf, which is a French werewolf movie back in the day. It's really good. I highly recommend it. But yeah, this...
Vous rencontrerez la demeure du vieux Gorcha.
A little bit down. Interesting. That's weird. Oh, I think this would be a lot of fun. I'm going to kind of skip a little bit through and just kind of see what the art looks like. That's pretty dope. And remember, this is based on a novelle that predates Dracula. So this is cool. For any of those vampire fans out there, what do you guys think? Are you going to check it out? Have you heard of it? Because I have not. This is the first time I've heard of this movie. And I, again, hope it comes to theaters near me. All right, guys. So the last thing I want to cover is 5 horror movies you can stream right now. Again, I do recommend going to go see In a Violent Nature in theaters if you can. But let's get into it. What kind of horror movies you can stream right now? Thank you to Bloody Disgusting. Catch up at home. 5 2024 horror movies you can stream this week. First off, this one, Despair completely on Netflix. I no longer have a Netflix subscription. I just decided that Netflix didn't have anything I wanted to check out right now. So I decided to cut that. This apparently, it says tabloid photographer will go to great lengths to get the perfect shot. Tact and morals be damned. Interesting. His insensitivity even extends to his home life, where he learns his girlfriend is pregnant. Let's see. He snaps a photo of a particularly grisly crime scene. Wait, it sounds like is anybody else thinking the same Jake Gyllenhaal movie that I saw a long time ago? What is it? It's not Night. Is it Nightwing? Nightwatch? Something. Where he plays a photographer? Oh, Nightcrawler. That's what it is. This sounds eerily like Nightcrawler a little bit to me. So, I don't know. Are you going to check it out? Let me know. First Omen on Hulu, which I just saw last night, which, holy cow. If somebody said, Nadia, we want you to make a horror movie. Now, how would it look? It would look like The First Omen. The First Omen, to me, shot by shot, is an art piece. So beautifully done. Creepy. There is quite a bit of scenes, very up close scenes, that made my bits just like, close up. Like, we're done. I know it retcons the established franchise right now. I don't think it does that big of an issue. It's really, really good. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. The use of light in it, I don't know if I want to do a breakdown video of it, because I watched this and I watched Possession too. I think it's 1981, I believe. Possession with young Sam Neill, which was a really great double feature to this. There's a lot that The First Omen, I think, takes inspiration for in Possession. So I highly recommend both of them. Even do a double feature. It's an intense double feature. I'm not gonna lie, it's very intense, but it is great. I loved The First Omen so much. I would love to go back and watch it just for the set pieces, the use of lighting, the sound. It was just so well done. One of the other ones is Frogman on Screambox. I've not heard of this. On a trio of friends embark on a final filmmaking hurrah before life takes them in separate directions. Is my question, though, most importantly, is there a Frogman? The there is. A town's cryptid mascot. The more the humans invade the Frogman's turf, the more delight and weird and gnarly it gets. I'm a feature creature kind of gal, but I don't know if this happens to have a sequel on the way. Interesting. I'll have to look more into this. Okay, if it has a sequel on the way, first one must have enough for it. This is another one I want to definitely check out. Lovely, Dark, and Deep. Kind of has like an H.P. Lovecraft vibe to it. It's cosmic horror, obviously, H.P. Lovecraft. Wilderness. The new park ranger filling a recently vacated position at an isolated outpost. The more she settles in to her minimalist outpost and begins her quest, the more unsettling things become as time derails and bizarre events single something else in the woods with her. Totally down for this. And I love this shot right here. This is great. I know this is CGI, but this is fantastic. Cosmic horror is my jam. Stop motion, which I believe you can stream as of yesterday or this past week, is another one. I am kind of hesitant. I've heard very good things about it. However, not gonna lie, these little dolls creep me out. The texture of the face, maybe, and I get it, that's the whole point, right? But the texture of the face, the look of it, it gives me chills. So I don't know. but it's supposed to be very good. It's a talented stop motion animator who longed to escape the shadow of her mother in the world of stop motion animation. When her health takes a sharp when her mother's health take a sharp turn for the worse, Ella's chance to create her own vision instead sends her spiraling where reality blurs increasingly disquieting ways. Art and storytelling collide in a breathtaking yet revolting fashion in Morgan's knockout debut. I don't know. I feel like I have to watch it because people are praising it so much. However, it's really creepy. Like, let me pull up a poster of this thing. There it is. Give me the poster. Oh, it's way too big. Okay. Go right now. There it is. This is creepy looking. I don't know, maybe because I have a very weird line with body horror. I'm not saying this is body horror, but this little thing in here is very unsettling. And I get it; it's the point of it, but it's grotesque. Grotesque. One of my favorite horror films in a long time. Oof. I'm weird. I have a very hard line with body horror, where I'm not a fan of Cronenberg. I get it; a lot of people are. But I can do like Evil Dead and stuff. I can do more. I don't know how to say it, like gore, but less pustule gore. Like when it all pus kind of gore. I'm not a fan of pus gore, but I can do like blood gore. Blood gore, great. Pus gore, not so great. I'm just not a pus gal. I don't like pus. Not that great. Well, thank you everybody for joining me for episode 3 of Horror Tuesday. I hope you learned a little bit about what's coming out. Again, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. All my links are in the description below, including my last review on In a Violent Night, so please go check that out. And until next time, I hope you all stay spooky.